Very good morning, dear children. Dear children, we started with the chapter 3 of civics, which was electoral politics. And children, we discussed the topic why elections. Why elections are important? So that the people can can elect their representatives, and it is very, very important in a democracy. Fine, children. The next topic we had was why do we need elections? Why it is required? So it is required so that the people can choose whom they want to make laws for them. Then they can also choose that who's going to make the government. Fine. And they can also choose the party whom they want that party's policies should be guiding the government and making the laws. Now, what makes an election democratic? So, in this context, we have seen certain conditions. We discussed that the first condition for a democratic election is everyone should be able to cast their vote. Second is they have some options to choose from. Then these elections should be conducted at regular intervals. Fine. And the second last one, the whatever candidate is preferred by the people should be elected. And the last was the election should be free and fair. So that's very important. Fine. So now we are on the next topic, and the topic is it good to have a political competition? So, children, elections are all about political competition only. Fine, the competition is taking place at it has various forms, but it is very obvious that the competition is very important among the political parties. If the constitution if the competition is not there, there is no elections. Means the elections, they don't have any meaning without a political competition. But children, as a coin has two sides, so there are some merits and there are some merits and demerits of political competition. So first of all, it creates a sense of disunity. Means among the people, it creates a sense of disunity, even sometimes in our family, in our locality. Fine. And children, in this case, all the political parties, they are always throwing allegations or putting allegations on one another. Fine. The parties or the candidates, they can use dirty tricks to win the election, so that can also be there. Now, the pressure of winning elections does not allow some sensible long term policies to be formulated. Means the person is always indulge in being in power. So for becoming in the power all the time, he or she is always working on that only. So somewhere the welfare of the people is you know ignored. And children, some good people who really want to serve the people, they are totally ignored in this arena, in this in this situation. Means the normal people, they are not at all interested in politics because it is something very complicated. Fine. And children, our constitution makers were aware of all these problems. Fine. So that's why they had this free competition of elections. Now, children, there are some positive uh, points also, that see, the leaders, they are given reward and punishment. Now, who's discussing, I mean, who's deciding the reward and punishment for these people? So it is for these representatives. So it is the people who are you know thinking about the reward and punishment. So what's the reward? If they are happy with the party, if they are happy with the representative, so obviously they are going to elect that representative again in the next elections. If they are not happy, they are not going to bring that person in power again. So here children, the representatives, they somehow have to think about the welfare of the people. So the positive side of this political competition is that somewhere somehow the representatives, the parties, they had to work for the welfare of people, fine, in one case or the other, fine, in order to get the majority in the coming elections. So same example as a shopkeeper, his one and foremost motive is to earn profit, but still he has to give certain services to the customer, because if he is not going to provide that, the customer is going to shift to the other shops, fine. So children, what is our election system? Means what type of system of election is followed in our country. So children, here in India, we have two types of elections, Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha. Fine, Lok Sabha elections, they are the general elections, and Vidhan Sabha is your assembly elections. You can simply say that Lok Sabha elections, they are related, Lok Sabha elections are equal to Prime Minister, and Vidhan Sabha, which is your state one, they are, that is equal to your CM. Okay. Now these elections are held after every 5 years. Now after every 5 years, the term of all the elected representatives, it comes to an end. Fine. The Lok Sabha and the Vidhan Sabha also dissolve, and again elections held in all the constituencies. In case of Lok Sabha, means the central level, they are known as the general elections, because these elections take place almost on the same day, fine, in the whole country. Sometimes they can be, in different constituencies, can be at different times also. And there are one more type of election, which is by election. It is when a candidate is a candidate has resigned, because of that the vacancy is there in the constituency, or the candidate is dead. So in that case also the vacancy occurs. So for that the elections are held only in that particular constituency only. So those elections are known as by elections, fine. So in this chapter we are just going to focus on the general elections. So the first question is electoral constituencies. So first and foremost step in the elections is making of electoral constituencies. So how are these constituencies made, children? So children, constituency means division of the geographical area, means our country is divided into different areas, fine, from where the representative will be elected, fine. Area based on the system of representation, fine. The country is divided into different areas just for the purpose of election, so that a free and fair election could took place, fine. The voters, they have their own area from where they are going to represent, from where they are going to elect their representative. Like if you talk about the Lok Sabha election, the country is divided into 543 constituencies, children, and all the representatives, they are elected from all these constituencies. They will be called the member of parliament or an MP. You are going to elect the MP, and all the MPs together are going to make the government, and they are going to uh, choose their prime minister, their head, fine. The features of a democratic election is that every person has equal vote. So that's the reason the constituency is roughly divided as equal population living within it. So somewhere the constituency is divided on the basis of population, fine. Each state, same way in the this Vidhan Sabha election, the state is also divided into different constituencies, and from every constituency one representative is chosen, and he is named as member of legislative assembly. So that is your MLA, and together the MLAs are going to make your CM. Fine. So just as we took an example of Lokdal, where Chaudhary Devilal became the CM. Fine. So this is about constituencies, children. Fine. So today we will do till here. Tomorrow we will continue with the next topic. Thank you and have a nice day.